Hello everyone and welcome. This is Kyryl, and in this tutorial we're going to chat about a hip action. If you ever had a hard time adding a hip action to your steps or staying balanced when you create any hip action, then this video is just right for you. I will show you 3 secrets how to make it natural looking, rhythmical and balanced. So every step you make, you can attach a nice hip action to it. If you haven't subscribed yet, please click the subscribe button and the bell icon so you can get notified every time I post a new video, and let's get started. So let's start from the secret number 1, and it has to do with our posture or body position. And I'm going to approach it in slightly unorthodox way. Instead of asking just to stretch and be tall and be long, I'm going to be asking you to create an up position in the body, and we're going to call it a zigzag man. Take a look how it's done. Feet together. Slightly soft knees. I will gradually push knees back and will bring my pelvis forward. How do I do this? I engage my muscles in front, quads, and my hamstrings. So knees going slowly, gradually back, and I'm bringing my pelvis slowly forward. Please try not to lock your knees too fast, because that will hyperextend your knees and will drop your pelvis back. So I will need your knees going back and pelvis forward, so by the time you finish, your pelvis is on top of the balls of the feet. Our weight is being brought more forward. That's number 1. So knees back, hip forward. If hip goes forward or pelvis forward, ribs are closing in. So what does it mean? If we're going to put our hands at the back as far as we can, touch the spine, and we're going to wrap ourselves around without collapsing the ribs. So just closing them in like this. Just closing. And stretching sternum, stretching chest forward and bringing the back of the head back. That creates that up position within the body. It's very important to make sure we do it very slowly and gradually. Knees back, pelvis forward, ribs closing in. We have a long zipper up to the sternum here. Opening upper chest and head goes back in. And we are trying to keep that position during our movement. That's the key number 1. Next we have a secret number 2, which is, here it goes, we don't have a hip action. We have a hip reaction. Reaction to our weight movement. We use our legs to move our weight, and hips would react. So whatever you see on the videos and competitions when people are dancing, have a really beautiful hip action, it's actually not what they do. They don't move their hips. They move their legs, and their hips react to it. So they shape it, they make it look very apparent, but it's not exactly, not directly that they move their hips. So we're going to start this. We're going to open our feet, create our zigzag man just like earlier we did, and all we'll do, we just transfer weight from one foot to another foot, very lightly so. If you feel that your hips are tight and locked up, relax more. Keep relaxing to the point that you feel that, okay, I have a little bit of movement. You don't have to have a lot of movement. All you have to do is a natural following of your hips to your weight transfer from one side to another side. You can transfer your weight more by pushing away from the floor, then you're going to create a little bit more bigger pendulum. Or if you transfer weight to the other side again, fully, you're going to have more action. If you're going to just keep your heels down, just flat, then your hip action will be probably a little bit smaller, more underneath the body. Here there are 2 points that I would like to emphasize. Number 1 is that you're engaging your legs every time you move over your foot, over your leg. So when I'm lowering the heel and moving over my leg, the more I move, or the moment the foot is being placed, the muscles in these legs are engaged. Yes, our weight is pressing down, we have gravity pressing down, and our legs are turning on to support that. We don't want to just collapse with our hips or with our body on top of it. In this case, then you start moving your hips, you actually be thrown out of your balance by sheer movement of the hips. So by tensing or engaging the muscles of your leg, just tighten up a little bit your quads and hamstrings, you will be much more balanced when you arrive. The moment the heel is touching the floor, imagine you're pressing, and energy is like putting socks or tight jeans or leggings. Yeah, the energy goes up and receives this. Remember, the hamstrings are engaged, so our hip is not dropping out. And then we're lowering this heel and we're moving over, engaging the leg. So we have a pushing leg and a receiving leg. That was point number one. Point number two, and here's the core of it. This is extremely important. So our weight is residing here. This is our gravity center. Yes, right at the bottom of our spine. But when we move, the weight, of course, goes towards one side of the hip or the other, or where your sitting bone is. That's why it's important, again, to engage this muscle so we're not falling out with this. This is kind of turning in like a snake going around. Don't tense your bum again. Don't tense your glutes. And to just lock up your movement, yes? We are talking only about your legs, and then legs will be already moving your hips. Okay? So coming back to the point number two, super important, weight is here. Whenever we move weight, our hips follow that, which means this. If I'm standing just on the right leg, this is my right, I'm lowering the heel and I'm moving towards the left one, my pelvis is moving together with me. I'm not delaying it and then dropping it out. I'm lowering the heel and my pelvis moves to the middle. I keep on pushing away from the foot and my pelvis is following because I move more weight. My pelvis creating that bigger smile or that pendulum, or we also call it Cuban motion, because this is what separates us ballroom dancers or Latin American dancers from all the other disciplines that there are. Ballet, jazz, they don't transfer the weight the way we do. So by lowering the heel and moving weight gradually, our pelvis is following us. We're pushing more away from this foot, our pelvis is going more. So you can even just put your hands on top of your hip bones and follow this. You lower the heel, middle, and you arrive. Lower the heel, middle, and push away, you arrive on top. Again, remember to engage muscles so we don't fall out. We always have that little bit of tension between the legs that controls our weight transfer foot to foot, like hot potato. We throw it and we catch it, we throw it again. So push and push. If we throw it and we hold it, we fall out. Yes, if we are not engaging our legs, we drop through. So that was the 2 points about the weight transfer and the hip action. Engaging legs to transfer the weight, and gradual hip action that is matching the weight movement. The last thing to add to our weight transfer, hip action, that pendulum, is the rotation. When we go from one side to another side, to make it move smoother, to make it look much more natural, we have to rotate. So that rotation that creates and completes the pendulum movement or the Cuban motion, yes, and allows us to be very comfortable redirecting ourselves. So how do we create that rotation? We transfer the weight, and for now try to transfer full weight, which means our sitting bone is on top of our foot. And when we're standing there, we still have a position from the zigzag man that we did earlier. Knee goes back, hip goes forward. It's very important to keep your hamstrings engaged, pulled up and pushed a little bit forward during rotation. Why? Because if you're not, when you rotate, this falls out, we're stuck. That's it. We dropped out, we will not, we'll be able to move. Our body is so beautiful and so awesome because even with the wrong position, we still can move and dance. But the proper way to do it is to push the knee back, bringing engage the hamstring, so when we rotate, it doesn't fall out. So knee back, hip forward, a bit of tension, and imagine that we just turn our leg. Forget about the hip. Hip is already attached to it. So we turn our leg. You think about just turning your quad and try not to go too far. It's very important to understand that your going back is less than the pendulum that we had. Otherwise, we're going to have a hard time linking it to the other side. So when we arrive, This is engaged. We rotate and stop where, if it doesn't go more, then don't go more. Yes, don't try to force it. Rotate, and now from here we lower and we go towards the other side. Because of that now, our hip action, because of this rotation, when we go to the other side, our hip goes a bit more diagonally forward, which goes right over our foot. Ball of the foot. That's the proper way to create a bigger hip action. So if you want to have volume in your hips, you have to rotate and bring it diagonally forward from that pendulum. Then rotate, load the hip, pendulum to the other side. Rotate, lowering, bringing over. If I do a side view, I'm going to start from rotating back. Do you see that I don't do that much? Lower, and I'm bringing them forward. So my hip is trying to go in front of the shoulder, side of the shoulder, behind the shoulder. This is still engaged. Lowering and going again towards this side, side and back. Lower, pendulum, rotation. Lower, pendulum, rotation. All the other points about engaging the legs and going through the middle still stay. Still having the same idea. The more you'll be able to bring it diagonally forward and rotate it back, the better. Very common mistakes that newcomers have is that going too fast back. We're dropping it out. We're matching our weight and the hip at the same time, so we get stuck. In order to create a hip action, pay attention to this one, we have to separate our weight or this step, and then rotation or settling and rotating the hip. So step arriving, working. Step arriving, working. Then the hip action will be very, I don't want to say separated, but very apparent. Yes, if we go at the same time, it looks very droppy. Okay guys, now we covered 2 points out of 3, or 2 secrets. We talked about 2 secrets out of 3. We talked about our body posture, we talked about our weight transfer and reaction of our hips and the pendulum onto that weight transfer, and which brings us to point number 3, which is timing. The timing of our steps and the timing of our hip reactions. So if we take 2 dances, Cha-Cha and Rumba, each dance has 4 beats in 1 bar of music. 1, 2, 3, 4. In Cha-Cha, the 4th beat divided into halves, Cha-Cha. That's why I call it 1, 2, 3, Cha-Cha, 1, 2, 3. We're going to put it aside, this dance, for a moment, and going to concentrate on Rumba. So in Rumba, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 beats, 1 bar. Now, let's divide each beat in 2 halves. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we're going to count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now the number portion of the beat is when, or of the count, is when we make any step and transfer the weight. The end, A-N-D, end portion of the beat is when we release and rotate. That's when we're trying to link to the next step. So the end belongs to the beat, but connects to the next count. Yeah, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and. Again, and belongs to the previous number, but links us with an action to the next movement. So if you notice so far, I have used counts 2 and 3 for the example. Why? Because in count 2, 3, we transfer our weight fully right away. So 2 and 3 and. But on count 4 and 1 and, on count 4, we transfer almost full weight, let's say 80 to 90%, because we still have count 1 that we do not make a step on. So on 4, almost there, and 1 we finish, and on count end, the second part of the 1, we rotate. So 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, finish, and. Don't delay yourself, don't get stuck in between, because then you need to re-energize yourself. We need to use the original push of the leg, the original movement and momentum to arrive. So 4 is almost 80–90% of the way there, almost fully. Just finish a little bit, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and. That's the idea of the timing and how we time our weight transfer and the hip action. Let's try it with music now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. That's the idea of how to move, how to coordinate the weight transfer and the hip action, and how to time it with the music. And here it is, guys. This is our hip action or hip reaction and the timing of it. And we use it in every dance, in particular cha-cha and rumba. We use it for samba as well in slightly different way, because different rhythm, and slightly different way in jive. We have very little of it, if anything at all, in paso doble. But let's concentrate on rumba right now, and let me demonstrate you Rumba basic step with the information that we've covered today. So in Rumba basic step we have side step, check forward walk, again side step, and back basic to replace start again. So when we're doing a side step and 4 and 1, we create that pendulum rotation, and check forward walk 2. We create pendulum, not much rotation here, just a little bit, and going back 3 pendulum rotation, and 4 and 1 and the rotation again, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 pendulum, and just bend in the back knee, and slightly here, go back 3 pendulum rotation and 4 and 1 in. Back basic to the front is very tricky. A lot of people having a bit of hard time here. Show you how easy and cool way. And 2 and everyone is okay here. Now going forward, a lot of people are trying to rush to go with their top forward. Try to focus on moving your weight, which is here. So 3, that's where you are. So 2 and lowering the heel and going through the middle, over the pendulum finishing. You're gonna have your shoulder, your hip in front of the shoulder. And then release and rotate to go forward. So let me demonstrate again. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and. That's the idea how we attach it, or actually have it inside our movement as a part of the whole system working together. Here it is, guys. Thank you for watching the video. We talked about 3 secrets of the hip action. We talked about posture, we talked about weight transfer, and what we do with our legs to do that weight transfer. We talked about timing, how to time your hips right to be balanced and to be rhythmical. And I hope you find it useful. Give me thumbs up if you liked it. Or make the comments below, make some comments below, and let me know any of your thoughts or questions. I'd be more than happy to read it and to respond to them. Looking forward to see you next video. See you soon.